Hi, Mark here from the Tangent Bound Podcast Network and host of the flagship show, the Tangent Bound Podcast. Did you know that we over at Tangent Bound are always looking for amazing podcasts to promote? And did you also know that we are also proud nerds and geeks of everything from movies, music, gaming, TV shows, and comic books to wrestling, MMA, soccer, and football? Whatever you can nerd or geek out about, we've got it. And if you're interested, we can help you find it. And if you're a show looking for a place to call home, we've got you covered. Side effects may include upset stomach, dizziness, tumors, shakes, and in some rare cases, death from excessive laughter. Though to be fair, it's only sometimes. Other side effects may include diarrhea, gallstones, heart palpitations, and strong desire for cookies on the dark side. Talk to your doctor and visit TangentBoundNetwork.com and see if Tangent Bound Network is right for you.
This is a Danger Entertainment podcast. DangerEntertainment.net. Danger Entertainment Podcast Network.
Welcome to the podcast from Temperance Town, the sexiest podcast of world renowned. Tony grows a beard to hide his chin, swaps it with Earl so it glistens.
Salty, salty language, kings of the sexy frontier.
Download the pod, you won't get enough of these dapper chaps talking deadly fluff. In Hobo Gulch they run a homeless mission, clanging and banging with the pentagram of kittens.
Salty, salty language, kings of the sexy frontier.
They enjoy their whiskey and local craft beer. By Odin's unkempt pubis we give a cheer. Tony's a raccoon when he's booziest. Don't be a savage, be an enthusiast.
Salty, salty language, kings of the sexy frontier.
On the frozen tundra they call it a lock. Tony likes to masturbate in a sock. Brian pisses rocks cause it feels so great. I still don't know who the fuck is Tate.
Salty, salty language, kings of the sexy frontier.
The boys will let you know when there's a spurner. Due to male pattern baldness, they don't wear curlers. Stay salty, people, that's their closing line. And don't forget, have a beer, you'll be fine.
Salty, salty language, kings of the sexy frontier. Salty, salty language, kings of the sexy frontier. Salty language.
Hey enthusiasts, what's going on? This is Salty Language, episode 313.
The most sparkling podcast on the website.
Just on the website? Not on the network?
Oh, God. Brian, I'm not quite with it.
All right. I've
got a belly full of various foods I typically don't eat, and coffees and beers, and I'm all fucked up, man.
Fair enough.
Take two. The most sparkling podcast in existence.
Oh, wow. Wow.
Right?
Yeah.
I'm here's looking at you, Pete and Dave's sparkling podcast.
Oh, shit. Man.
Shots fired. Shots fired.
Pew, pew, pew. Yeah. Man. Yeah, and Tony's referencing that because, you know, like most manly men, we're both sitting here drinking sparkling water.
Indeed. It's because I'm a fancy motherfucker. It's because I don't think I've drank water in like 3 days.
Oh, well, that'll do it, yeah. I was going to say we're oozing machismo.
That's what it feels like, at least. Jesus Christ.
Get that wrestling reference out of the way quick this week.
Machismo.
Mm-hmm.
Arrogance.
No. Different guy.
I know, but...
okay. All right, I'm just making sure.
I always enjoyed the, like, ridiculously oversized exterminator spray can of arrogance, like, haphazardly wrote on it.
Yeah, that was great. From the model Rick Martel. Yep.
Yep. You betcha. You betcha.
Remember how much I hated that guy. He was good at what he did, because he made you hate
Positive energy.
Yeah. Well, no, I'm just meaning, because, you remember when, he blinded Jake the Snake Roberts, man, and, I was like, how dare you? And then they had that ridiculous blindfold match, and it was something.
I don't blindfold match.
Oh, you don't? They had like yeah, they had like a black bag over their head. It wasn't just like a blindfold, or type thing. If I remember correctly, I think it was almost like a black, like a full black bag almost over their head, so that they couldn't see. And it was just ridiculous because I don't know for sure how blind they actually were. But the reason for it was because when Martel sprayed Jake in the eyes with Arrogance, his cologne, Jake was blinded, so to even the score, they both wore the blindfold.
Well, I have a link to the match that will be in the show notes.
Am I right? Does it show? Do they have like a black bag on their head, or can you see that?
I have to skip ahead a wee bit.
All right.
Now I'm watching wrestling videos.
Yeah, that's fine. That's what we should be doing anyway. Brian and Tony watch wrestling videos.
Yes, they both have black bags on.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Jake the Snake is reaching out with one. Yeah,
they're just blindly
ridiculous.
Yeah, they're just feeling around basically because they're blind. Like I said, I don't know how.
Oh, they just bumped asses, and now to run around like idiots.
Right.
That is just silly.
Yep.
So yeah. If you want to watch this silliness, refer to saltylangers.com. Check out the show notes, bitches.
There you go. All right.
Or I'm sorry, enthusiasts, not bitches.
What a way to start the show, huh? I bring up a really dumb gimmick match. Not as dumb as the one they had last week, but do you know? Did you ever watch wrestling when they had Punjabi prison match? When they had
Punjabi prison match.
Yeah.
That sounds like urban, dictionary sex move. Then I got her in the old Punjabi prison.
Pretty close. No, Punjabi. It's Punjabi, I believe. And it's terrible for watching because it's basically, for lack of a better term, it's basically a steel cage inside of another steel cage.
Inside of another steel cage?
No, just the two.
Inside an aquarium?
No, yeah. Inside a gumball machine.
That would be amazing.
So the inner cage, or structure, has four doors on it, and whenever one of the competitors calls for the door, the referee will, pull the door open, and they have 60 seconds to get out. If they don't, that door is then shut and locked permanently for the rest of the match. And they have 4 chances at these. After that, they have to go over the top of the inner thing, and then they have to get over the outer thing, and then both feet have to touch the floor, and then they win.
Why is this a thing?
Yeah.
Because I'm looking at images now. It looks like it's made out of bamboo.
Yes. Yeah, basically. I don't know if it's actually bamboo or if it's just, something that looks like bamboo, but whatever. It's terrible to watch. I've watched all 3 of them that they've done in WWE. They're all shit. Every one of them. Because you can't see in there because you have 2 structures that the cameras can't see through. The cage matches are hard enough to watch on TV,
Right.
You can see what's going on, you don't really lose the action. In this thing, on TV, it was, I heard or read that at the actual venue, it was horrible to try to watch. And
it looks horrible.
Yeah.
Whoever came with this idea should be put in a Punjabi prison and then thrown off a cliff.
Yeah, it was terrible. So anyway, that's my wrestling update for the week.
What is this Punjabi? I want to know what the definition of Punjabi is now.
Well, that's
because that's just not something someone made up.
Oh no, it's definitely not. Or you mean the Punjabi prison or the
actual word?
Okay, no, that's not made up. That's I don't remember. I'm going to let you look it up so I don't say something that makes me seem super ignorant or racist.
It's a place, a native or inhabitant of Punjab.
Okay, that's what I thought, but
okay.
I wanted to make sure. Like I said, I didn't want to just be like, "Oh, I think it's this," and then meanwhile,
it's from India. It's a Sikh thing.
Yeah. Yeah,
Gotcha.
Yeah, that part I knew for sure. Because the guy who's doing the gimmick is Jinder Mahal, who is from Canada, but, he's from India for kayfabe purposes.
Right.
Yeah. So, yeah.
That's a terrible idea.
It was awful to watch. Like, that pay-per-view was a shit show anyway, kind of this past weekend, but that was just...
What if their idea, like, they're like, we got to reboot the Punjabi prison. Since it's like an Indian thing, it's like a wrestling ring, right?
Yeah.
But in the wrestling ring is a bunch of, like, call center cubicles.
Well, you have to make your way out of the maze, basically?
Out of the maze of cubicles while answering phone calls.
Oh, and you have to have a certain success rate.
Yes.
Yeah, or call time or whatever. Yeah, that's terrible.
And, and say, like, I don't need a wrestler because I can't think of one off the top of my head. What's the current wrestler?
I just gave you one, Jinder Mahal.
Okay.
Or so you want to go with Shinsuke Nakamura so you can...
Yeah, let's go Skinflint Nakahui.
Shinsuke Nakamura.
But he's not that.
Okay.
He's Steve.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Yes.
He's Steve.
Or Brad.
He's Steve Mahal. Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
No, actually, I forgot. The call centers, a lot of them, they will give them like an American first and last name.
Yeah. So it'll be like,
It's funny.
It'll be like Ted, Massachusetts.
I can't think of this without thinking of the damn Simpsons where Apu wants to become a citizen when he has the cowboy hat and the New York Mets jersey and I love your Nye Mets.
Exactly.
Terrible. All right, we should move on before this gets into a terrible area.
That's my idea of a Punjabi prison.
Yeah, they should totally scrap it though. It's hot garbage. So,
okay.
What's cool is I'm part of a thing with WWE, and it's not like this is really exclusive. I'm sure they have tons of people, but they have an opinion council that they sent things out for people who have the network and stuff. And after the pay-per-views, they send you a thing to rate the pay-per-view and tell them what you did and did not like. So I wrote them a nice letter about how the Punjabi prison match was the hottest of garbage and easily one of the worst gimmick matches. I mean, there's worse. I don't know. Were you watching during the time when they had the kennel match?
No,
it
doesn't involve the dog face fucking whatever.
No, DFG.
I'm not interested.
Dude, all right, I'm going to tell this story and then we need to not talk wrestling anymore. Sorry to those listening. Okay, so they had a storyline between Al Snow and Big Boss Man. This is when Big Boss Man wore like all black. When he was
alive.
Yeah, and he was, well, I mean, that's accurate. Anyway, so they had a deal where basically Big Boss Man took Al Snow's dog. He had this like little dog. I think it was a Chihuahua or something that was named like Pepper or something. And basically they had like Al Snow go somewhere and Big Boss Man was eating Chinese food, and it was supposed to be that Big Boss Man basically ate Al Snow's dog. So they decided to have a kennel in the cell match, which was kind of this idea that they had like a cage, like a big cage, then like another, and then inside of that they just had dogs running around, like Dobermans or something like that, running around the outside of the ring. Well, the reason why this turned into a terrible match was, first of all, that's just a shitty idea. But then it got actually shitty in that the dogs were shitting outside of the ring.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, it's one of the worst. Yeah, that was... man. So, yeah, there's that.
I happen to find a little article right here. It says, behind the scenes of the infamous kennel in a cell, or kennel, whatever the fuck it's called, match.
Yeah. I thought it was called the kennel in the cell, because I think it was like two cages. I think the outside was the Hell in the Cell cage, and then the inside was the kennel, basically, or something. I don't know. Whatever.
Right.
Might not have been. That's probably not right. Anyway, go ahead.
So it just says, a few hours before the show, the owners of the dogs marched the parade of dogs, and I knew there was a problem immediately. I walked over to one with extreme trepidation, and a killer pit bull nonchalantly proceeded to lick me.
Oh, it was a pit bull.
The next one jumped on me and slobbered all over me. This must be from the Big Boss Man's point of view, I'm assuming.
Probably.
Before he's dead, I guess.
I would think so.
I swear at first I thought Al was playing a rib on me. Okay, ha, fine, I'll bring in real killers. What are you talking about? Asked Richie, our prop guy. I'm talking about the killer canines who are supposed to be threatening our very existence of Alan the Boss Man. These are them. You wanted pit bulls? I got you pit bulls.
Meanwhile, the musician Pitbull would have been more of a threat to them outside the ring.
Yeah, exactly.
All you had to do was start
That's
singing,
hilarious.
and you'd be like, trying to rip your way out of the cage.
What a terrible idea.
It was terrible. Yeah. And that's the thing. I think that was during the Attitude Era. So for all the people who, the Attitude Era was it had those giant turds also. So, yep. And if you have the WWE Network, you can go watch all of these matches, actually.
Yeah, enjoy.
You can
enjoy the hottest of garbage.
I don't recommend watching them, Jared. Just in case he's like, maybe I'll don't. Actually, watch the blind
and then report back.
Yeah, I was going to say watch the blindfold match. If you're going to watch any of them, the blindfold match is the best because
Can I make a small suggestion, Brian?
Yes.
That people, if they so desire, watch the matches. If they can find I didn't see a video for the Kennel in the Cell.
That's probably because it should be scrubbed from history.
Yes, but watch the blindfold match. If you can find it, watch the Kennel in the Cell match, and by all means, leave us a voicemail, 415-857-2589. Let us know what you think of these steaming piles.
Yeah.
Why not?
That's what we should just call our wrestling podcast, Steaming Piles, and then we just go back and watch the worst matches. No, I'm kidding.
That'd be pretty funny, actually.
There is already a podcast out where I know they go through and they watch like the worst WCW, what was it? Nitro and what was the other WCW show? Is it Thursday Night Thunder or something like that?
Thirsty Thursdays?
No, not quite. Anyway,
Thursday, but it was Thursday Sewing Circle.
No, but it was
Sewing Squared Circle.
Yes, yes. They sew quilts and watch wrestling.
That would be a great old lady thing.
It would
watch
be,
wrestling,
actually.
make quilts, the sewing squared
That actually
circle.
would be pretty cool. I would
be amazing.
It can't be a podcast though. Well, it can have an accompanying podcast, but it needs to be like a video podcast.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Anyway, all right, let's move on from wrestling. I'm sure and the crowd rejoiced.
Yeah, exactly. Numbers are way down this week.
Tony loses his ability to control Brian talking about wrestling. So how have you been, sir?
Oh man, if I can feel human again, I'd be pretty good.
I've said that a few times too.
Yeah, I mean it's been since we all went out Wednesday.
Yeah.
It's been just like a total derailment of my normal way of living.
Oh right.
And it's only Friday, and it's catching up to me. I still got a few more days when real life kicks back in.
You need a vacation from your vacation.
Ah, man, it's not even like really a vacation per se, but
I know.
It's just amazing when I'm like, normally I just, I do my normal thing, drinking tons of water and eating the proper stuff and
jazzercise. Yeah.
Fuck, man. Once I get off that routine, it's amazing how fucking garbage I feel.
Yeah.
I feel like a Kennel in the Cell match.
You know what's amazing about that? Is at some point in our lives, we probably ate decent, and then as we got to a certain point, we get further and further from eating good or well, however you want to, and it's like, I don't remember ever a point where I felt like that hot of garbage. You know, because it was a not casual. God, I can't word tonight.
Like a gradual thing.
A gradual, yeah. I don't know why casual. You were just real nonchalant about it.
Yeah, had my loose pants on.
Yeah, I got my dad jeans and
right.
Anyway, yeah. So, but now, like, even I'm that way, and I don't eat anywhere near as well as you do. But if I go a couple days without eating decent, I really feel weird, like different,
oh, yeah.
Sluggish and just like the hot death. So, I get it.
Yeah. I definitely do not feel like my normal chipper self right now.
Yeah, I can tell,
Yeah.
You didn't even do any makeup for the video.
I know, right?
Son of a bitch.
I know, I just got my old, bright yellow Old Navy workout shirt. And
Right.
I'm like, I'm going home. I'm putting on comfy clothes. I'm like a frumpy housewife over here.
Well, that explains the shower cap or the hairnet. You know,
I know, right?
get your hair up in rollers.
Oh man, but I'm not complaining. It's been,
I don't know.
Past few days have been pretty fun.
Sounded like complaining.
I mean, we can, why don't we start with? Well, why don't we do this chronologically, my friend?
Okay,
Like Tuesday.
Tuesday. I remember
Good old
Tuesday.
trivia Tuesdays.
Yeah.
We
We let everybody down.
did not do so hot
No.
on trivia Tuesdays.
Don't. Home team lost.
Home team lost. So we went into the finals in third.
Yeah.
That was all right.
Then we were like, it'd be a good idea, a kennel in the cell match.
Yeah, exactly, right?
And shit everywhere.
Yeah. But I mean, it's always a good time. I always have fun doing the old trivia thing.
Yeah, me too.
Oh, man. But yeah. I don't know, I guess I don't have a whole lot there.
Yeah, I was like, there's not really a lot of stories.
Yeah, like we didn't win.
Yeah.
Nothing really silly happened at the bar. It was pretty average.
I had a delicious double bourbon. I mean, that was about the
I
highlight.
joined you and said double bourbon.
Yeah, you did. You're right.
And it was delicious.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right.
Then Wednesday.
Wednesday's a different animal altogether.
So Wednesday, I got up, around my normal time, which is, I don't know, 4 o'clock or whatever, 3, 4 o'clock, whatever the hell it was. And, walk down, get the mail, because, I got a different phone now that, was in the mail. So I was like, well, better not leave that in the mailbox, because even though this week it's been cooler, it's still, I just don't want to leave an iPhone in a mailbox,
I can't say I blame you.
Yeah. So I go get that, walk down there and come back and, sit down, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna, get this thing all set up. And then I get a text from you, and you're like, boy, I could use some, I can't wait for music and some adult beverages or something to that effect. And
Yeah.
I'm like, tonight. And I'm like, tonight? And you were like, yeah. I was like, huh. Because I had totally
You
forgot.
don't say.
Yeah. I don't know why, but I thought we were going to go see a band called the Men Singers, as Tony put on his social media. No, it's the Men Singers.
Goddamn autocorrect making me look like a real asshole.
And we were going to go see them at a local place here, and I had thought it was on Thursday, and sure enough, it sure wasn't.
No, not at all.
So I was like, oh, all right then. So I was like, well, in my head, I'm like, I have an hour. I need to eat and shower. Wow, look, just rhyming too.
I know, right?
So yeah, I just ate a little something real quick, and then just stood at the sink and horse bathed it real quick. And, no, I'm kidding. I jumped in the shower. But it wouldn't have fucking mattered if I jumped in the shower or not.
Yeah, this is accurate.
Oh my god.
Because I picked you up, and we may or may not have recorded a little special video for all you Patreon subscribers out there.
Well, we'll see. Have you watched it yet?
I haven't watched it, but I'm pretty sure I'm just going to post it. Unless the audio sucks, I'm just going to post it anyway.
All right.
But, so, you could always hit up saltylanguage.com, scroll on down to the bottom, hit that Patreon link.
Damn, son, you're hitting all the marks
if
today.
If you hit us up for just a minuscule $3 a month, you can, get some of that bonus content that we've been putting up.
Hot nudes.
Oh, man, just nothing but dong.
Yeah, not ours, but...
No, yeah, random dong.
Just whatever Tony sees at the gym.
No,
that's not true. I don't even want to allude to that, because that's a crime. So
no one wants any of that anyway.
Well, yeah, it's also illegal, but yeah.
Well, there is that.
Yeah.
But, so we did that, and then we went and picked up my wife from work, because, that actually, Wednesday was the beginning of this nightmare for me, because, I did not go to the gym that morning.
Right.
Because I dropped Jeannie off at work so I could pick her up later, because she works like 5 minutes from the venue.
Yeah.
And she's been working late because she's busy, so it made more sense to just do it that way.
Sure.
Yeah. So we went and got her, and we're like, ugh, needs, foods, stats.
Yeah.
And we tried to go, over to the docks, too busy.
Mm-hmm.
because our local baseball team was in town, so anything downtown was just packed.
You mean the world famous Toledo Mud Hens?
I do, Brian.
Okay.
I do. And we ended up going to world famous Tony Packo's.
Right.
The original location.
Right.
And eventually moseying up to the bar.
Man, I'll tell you what, I was trying to think of the last time I had Packo's.
Right.
And man, it has to be 5 years, 6 years.
Really?
Yeah, I was thinking about it and I was like, I can't remember going, even like the one that was, sorry for the real local stuff here, the one that was over in Anderson's, like when I would be over there, like, you know, for whatever reason, I don't remember getting anything from there. I remember you and I used to go there when we had our comic shop. We used to go over to that one occasionally and grab some dogs.
Some eats to go.
Yeah. Anyway.
Well, it's one of those things. I probably have it maybe once or twice a year.
Yeah. That's part of why
they're putting in I think they're putting in drive-through ones now.
I heard that. I hope so.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
So that'll probably step up your Packo's game, son.
Yeah, probably. That's part of why when we went, I wasn't really hungry. I was just I was like, maybe I'll just have a beer or two, you know. And I was like, I gotta get a Packo's dog while we're here, you know. So
yeah, so we got some foods, had some nice conversation with the bartenders.
Mm-hmm. Had an alright IPA.
Yeah, they had their IPA that's made by a local brewery just for them. Mm-hmm. It's pretty delicious.
Yeah, it was good.
And we moseyed on down to the venue finally.
Right.
We missed the first band, the Shitty Neighbors.
Which is actually their name. Tony's not.
Yeah.
Yeah. We did miss them. What was funny is we got there, around 8:30? Roughly? Quarter after 8:30?
Like quarter after 8:30, something like that.
And according to the sign, the second band, I think, was supposed to go on at 8.
Yeah.
So, and I was like, oh, cool. We didn't miss the second band, at least. You know, we just missed, unfortunately, we missed the first band, which they may be good. I don't know. We just didn't get a chance to see them.
Don't know. Shitty Neighbors. What are you going to do?
Had to eat. Had to put yum-yums in our tum-tums. Yeah.
Right? But I got to say, while we were waiting for the second band to set up, we kind of, we should explain the venue.
Okay, yeah, that's a good idea. I wish we would have gotten pictures of the inside of the place.
Yeah, I mean, I did a quick pan on my Snapchat, if you follow me. Mm-hmm. Salty_language on Snapchat.
Man, you're getting all the links in tonight.
Dude, fucking, I'm the plug king.
You're crushing it. All right, keep going.
And, but it's a little place, and I mean, if you really want to do some Googling, it's called Frankie's. It's in Toledo.
Yeah.
And, I haven't been there since probably shortly after high school.
Oh, seriously. Same
here. And if you listen to the show, we're both old as fuck, so it's been a while.
Right. Yeah, if you know what? I'll put the link to the place on, in the show notes, their Facebook page if you want to look at it.
Fair enough. But it's the venue split in half. One side is, I think they had a pool table or something over there, and they're selling merch and shit.
Right.
And the other side has the bar and the stage. And it's, no joke, from the bar to the wall, probably 20 feet, maybe 25 feet.
Dude, when you said from the bar to the wall, I almost went from the sweat dripping from, anyway.
Well, we'll get to that. And then from the stage to the back, it's maybe double that, 50 to 60 feet, maybe long. I mean, it's a small venue.
Yeah.
And they didn't have the air on, if they even have air.
Yeah.
And they were just packing people in.
Now, outside, it was probably, 75-ish? 70, 75? It was pretty nice outside.
Yeah, it was beautiful outside.
Yeah, like a touch humidity in the air, but other than that, it was, nice breeze, though.
Yeah.
Inside, 8 circle of hell.
Oh, God, yeah. It was like you walked through a doorway, it was a portal to Botswana. It was insane.
That's pretty accurate, yeah. I was swatting flies off me all night.
Yeah, exactly, right?
Mm-hmm.
Ugh. But anyway, we moseyed up to the bar, which, when Jeannie gets a Heineken, we both get 2 PBRs apiece, and it's $12. That's pretty straight up.
Yeah. Yeah, I was hoping for big dumb PBRs, but we got short dumb PBRs. So.
Yeah, exactly. Your average PBRs.
Uh-huh.
But we were talking with these, this couple that was sitting there. Actually, we were just standing there, and she started talking to us. Mm-hmm. Basically, is how it went.
Yeah.
And, come to find out, they're not from Toledo. They're from another town. It's, like an hour or so away. and they saw the Menzingers in Menzinger. I can't even say Menzingers in Cleveland.
Right.
So they came here to see them.
Right. Now, we had seen them before. Like, if you're a longtime listener to the show, when we talked about it for one of my birthdays, we went and they had blocked off part of the streets, actually right in front of Frankie's.
Yeah.
And they had a big stage right there, and that's when we saw the Swellers there for on my birthday, or right around my birthday.
It was right around your birthday, yep.
Yeah. And then we were about to leave, and the Menzingers took the stage, and we were like, okay, let's stick around for a little while. So
yeah, I'm glad we did, because honestly, because Jeannie really dug them. That's when I saw her coming. I told her, I'm like, hey, let's get tickets, and she's like, oh yeah, she was very excited.
Yep.
So, but yeah, this lady she was on fire. She kept kind of like looking around, be like, these fucking kids don't know what's up. She's like, I can't remember some of the shit she was saying.
So did I mishear her, or did she say she was 27?
I don't know.
Okay.
I didn't hear her say her age.
Okay. I thought I heard her say she was 27, and I was like, that's hilarious, because we're standing here, I'm 11 years older than you, and you're talking about kids, Yeah.
I'm not trying to be rude enough, and I know she's not going to listen to this, but she was 27, she's had a hard one.
harsh, right.
It would be a rough 27.
Dude.
I'm not saying, she was attractive.
She would have kicked your ass.
Maybe.
No, it's no maybe.
But yeah, I didn't feel 27 when I was
You'd go in there like trying to slap fight, and she'd just kick you in the dick, and then when you drop down, she'd probably take you down with a scissor kick or something.
Yeah, probably. She's got to, if I get my hands on her, though, it's over. She was itty bitty.
It's true. Anyway, yeah. At one point, she was saying she didn't know if the kids would know who Angus Young was from AC/DC, and she actually asked this kid standing there.
Yes.
And he did know who it was.
Hold on. Because she looked at us and she goes, this fucking kid right here probably doesn't know who Angus Young is.
That's right.
And then she's like, I'm going to fucking ask him.
Yeah, and she did. And he laughed about it because, I think he probably heard her because she said it kind of loud. And
yeah, she had zero volume.
Yeah,
control.
and there was, they just had music playing in there. The bands weren't playing. But because this kid's wearing a Social Distortion shirt, but he seriously looked like, if you had to guess his job, you'd probably guess like GameStop or Hot Topic, Yeah,
he looked super young.
Yeah, and it was just, it cracked me up. I love that. That made me laugh so much.
Well, yeah,
just talking with her.
She high-fives him and she comes back. She's like, yeah, he fucking knows who she is. Faith in humanity restored.
Yeah, and the guy she was with, I didn't catch, husband, boyfriend, whatever.
Husband.
Yeah, okay. I thought so, but I didn't catch it.
Either one of their names, unfortunately. And I only saw him later.
Same here.
Because I leaned into him when she went over to ask the kid. I was like, wow, she's on fire, huh? And he's like, yeah, she's had a few drinks. I went,
whatever. So again, those are the people you like to run into. They're fun.
Yeah, we had a nice little chat, and then they vanished, and we took up their place at the bar, and that's basically where we were the rest of the night.
Yeah, it kind of sucked because we had a great vantage point. The up and down to it was, that you couldn't see, like where I was standing, I couldn't see, when the Menzingers took the stage, I couldn't see the one guy from basically the shoulders up, but I could see the other three guys.
Yeah, because of a giant speaker hanging in front.
But we were, 15 feet, 20 feet from the stage? I mean, we were right there.
15. Within 15.
Yeah,
easy.
Easily right there. And we could have got closer. We didn't get closer until almost the very end.
Yeah. Well, I kind of wanted to maintain that spot just so I could turn around and get something to drink if I wanted it.
I was totally with you on that because that was brutal. People trying to get to the bar and just, there were so many people in there for
and it was so hot.
So hot. And that's not just me. I mean, I'm always hot. But, man, that place.
Yeah, I was in shorts and a t-shirt. And, I typically run a little warmer, too.
Yeah.
And I was on fire.
Yeah, that's why after the sidekicks were done, when you were like, you want to head outside for a minute and cool off? I'm like, fuck yes.
Yeah, right.
Because
Jeannie got a phone call, and I went out with her just to make sure everything was kosher. And I was just like, oh, man, it feels amazing out here.
Yeah.
This is incredible.
Well, and then, I mean, while the Sidekicks played, the place was, I mean, I'll say this, the place was pretty full up for the second act. You know, it wasn't like it was half full and then it filled all the way up for the headliners. It was pretty full for the second act, which was awesome. You know, I like to see that, because a lot of times people won't bother to get to a thing until the very end. Like when we went up to Ann Arbor to see the Thermals, there was like, or even when you and I went and saw the Swellers, there was like nobody really there until just before the main act took the stage, you know, and then the place filled up, you know. So I was glad to see that for the bands, because, you know, it's just always cooler for the whole vibe of the thing. Plus, it's got to be great for the band to look out and see a full house, you know.
Definitely, yeah.
Not just see two people out there. Whoa!
Yeah. And they're not even paying attention.
Yeah.
They're just on their phones.
They're pretending they're Ric Flair over by the bar. Yeah. So.
I mean, that was my one thing that I was bothered by, was the phones. Because I get, you know, you want to post shit on your social media and all that.
Yeah.
Hey, kids out there, listen to Uncle Tony here.
Listen to old man Tony.
Yeah, listen to old... When we ran for a second.
Oh my god! So I'm picturing in my head like a cartoon version of you, just like pointing your finger and just be like, "Old man Tony says."
Yeah, this is basically it, though.
Yeah.
If you're gonna post stuff on your Snapchat, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, whatever the fuck you're using,
Yep.
turn off your flashes. No one needs to see your guy. I might as well just turn my flashlight on and walk around.
Yeah, seriously. Well, you know the thing that always bugs, like, it's funny whenever you go see something in an arena and you see people, and I know a lot of it's just people just don't bother to turn it off, you know?
Yeah. Like, mine's set to be off because I don't annoy people.
Mine's set to be off now, you know, after some, close encounters with taking pictures. But
right.
It's just people don't realize
that,
you know, once you hit a certain distance away from you, the flash does nothing. It does not do anything, you know.
But annoy your neighbors.
Right. And like there was this broad at the show that toward the end, just the whole show, she kept like elbowing me and slapping my arm and my back. And I don't know how much of it was on purpose, how much of it wasn't, because she was just, you know, dancing around near me. And Tony can back me up on this. It wasn't like she was trying to get up in my business. She was just all over the place.
Here's my problem with this chick.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Is she was acting like an 8.5, 9 when she was like a hard 6.
I would have left with her. No.
But I'm just saying.
Yeah,
it's like, stop with your nonsense. Stop. What are we doing here? No one wants to see your Snapchat videos.
I did. I asked her for a Snapchat.
She was like,
I should have. Damn it.
Should've.
I should have.
Like, those videos you're taking are awesome. Can I get your Snapchat?
Yeah.
She kept mushing into me, too.
Yeah.
You know, I kind of wanted to do a sneaky elbow strike.
Yeah.
It's like, God, just back off.
Yeah, she had a pretty large purse on her hip, basically.
Yeah.
And every time she went up to the bar to get something to drink, she kept turning, and basically the purse was like, you know, pushing me.
Right.
And I was like, Jesus Christ, you know, and so, you know, and this went on pretty much the whole night. Like, whether it was you or me standing there, she behaved the same, you know?
Yes.
And, you know, I mean, she probably knew, you know, salty languages in the house and everything. We get that. You know, it happens to us all the time, you know.
I know, right? It's like, Jesus.
You know, it's part of the curse that is being us. We get it. But the best part was at the end where she had her flash on and she was recording like one of their last couple songs or whatever, and she starts moving toward the stage, and it just this, like Tony said, the flashlight's basically just all over the crowd, and people are like looking back at her because it's dark in there because rock show.
Yeah, rock show.
And she's just, you know, almost like, oh shit, cops are here, kind of a thing. But then, what did you say? You saw somebody do? to her as she got
Yeah,
closer?
she kept, like, it was several videos in a row, and I'm assuming it must have been snaps.
It was Snapchat, yeah.
And maybe she doesn't realize that with the new update, you can just hold the button down. It gives multiple videos.
Probably not.
Maybe she doesn't update her phone. Maybe she has a shitty plan.
That's very possible.
Because she's a shitty human. But, so she kept doing multiple videos, and finally the guy next to her just put his whole monkey paw in front of her phone, which then she finally, like, turned it off and stuck it in her pocket, and then enjoyed the show.
Like I was telling Tony,
which is what you should do.
That's got to be super annoying to the band because, again, it's pretty dark in there. There were some lights flashing around, like, for stage effect behind them.
Yeah.
You know, but as they're playing, and then you just got somebody just walking toward you with a flashlight on, basically. It had to be fairly annoying. I'm sure they're used to it. I'm sure it happens all the time, but still, you know.
And for a while there, I was watching her boyfriend, too. Mm-hmm. And although Jeannie said someone might have punched him, so I get his aggressive, like, stance.
Yeah.
But there was a while there, I was watching him, and she kept, like, holding him back from something. I'm like, he's going to go off. Somebody's getting hit tonight. Yeah. It's going to be from that guy.
He wanted her to get in the pit with him, too. And she was like, no. She's like, it's too hot. And she's, you know, I heard her say that at one point, and he was like, come on, babe. And she's like, it's too damn hot in there.
Well, he was super drunk, too.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's why later on he moved over. There was like a row of tables. I don't know if you noticed there were tables there or not.
Oh, was there? I didn't even notice that.
Yeah, they're like just real small tables, you know, like high tops. And anyway, he moves over to one of those, and he's like blowing her kisses and shit. And she smacks me on the back and goes, where the fuck is his shirt? I'm like, how the hell would I know? You know, I'm not over there in there with him. But anyway, so she starts yelling at him to try to, you know, where's your shirt? And he can't hear her because noise. And anyway, so I grabbed like the corner of my shirt, like my shoulder, and I'm like, where's your shirt? And then he goes, oh, he's like, I took it off and threw it.
That's hilarious.
And I leaned to her and I was like, did you hear? And I told her you threw it, and she's just like, okay.
Yeah. Super drunk.
Super drunk. Yeah. It was something. I love hanging out with people at shows, though. I mean, you know, like I said, she wasn't trying to do any, you know, she wasn't trying to, like, hit us or anything. Well, she definitely tried to hit me a few times, but it was more in I think, like, she was really into the song, and I think she was slapping my back kind of, like, just excited. I don't know. It was
fair enough.
It was pretty weird. So, yeah.
What I do know is, and I know I've said this before, but it just made me want to go to more shows.
Yeah, it always does.
Because I do enjoy, Brian, I enjoy the rock and roll.
Well, and, you know, like, I was talking with Fluffy Bunny Ash about this, and I was like, you know, it was a super small venue for you know, too many people for the size venue it was, basically.
Yeah.
But, like, her and I both agree on this, and it's like, when you're seeing those kind of bands, you're seeing any kind of punk band or whatever, it's like, I love that kind of setting. I
always prefer the smaller venues.
Now, this was, I'll be honest, and I'll talk about this a whole lot more over on the Crazy Life, but my anxiety was pushed to the limit by the end of the show because of the heat and the amount of people in there. It was nuts. You know, I don't know how many people were in there, but it felt like probably the same amount that when I went and saw the Thermals, but that place is just bigger, so it was spread out a little better. It was still fairly tight. There were a lot of people in there, but it was spread out better.
I want to say it was probably whatever the fire code capacity is, plus 20.
I'll tell you, it felt like it. That's why it was funny, because after the sidekicks, you know, and we're done, and then once the Menzingers, you know, they got all their shit up on the stage, and then all of a sudden just people kept pouring in, and it's like, where are they gonna go? Like,
I'm
half expecting
to letting more people in.
Yeah, I was half expecting to look back at the bathroom and see the door held open with just a crowd in the bathroom, you know?
Right.
Some people sitting on the bar. I mean, it was, you know, yeah. Because it got to a point to where there almost wasn't a walkway.
Yeah.
You know, it was interesting. Plus, the way the place is laid out is a little weird, too, because most places, as you walk into the venue, you walk toward the stage, basically. Like, and it's straight in front of you. This place, the bar is off to, like if you're facing the stage, the bar is off to the left, and it takes up a significant amount of area. And then there's the entryway right off of the bar for the whole place, essentially.
Right.
And then the stage is right in the middle, and then basically there's just a sea of humanity back from the stage. But because of where the bar is, people need to keep moving to get to the bar and to move through. It's, you know, the way it's laid out is not great for...
it's not ideal.
Yeah. So.
But at the same time, it kind of is, because it gives that intimate energy.
Oh, for sure, yeah. It's just, like I said to you, what they need is, like, if they can move the wall that the bar's against and move the bar over, or just have the bar on the other side to kind of just be out of the way, you know?
Right.
Like, if people want a drink, they just have to walk over there and get a drink, you know? But anyway, yeah. So, it was a good time, though. I had a lot of fun.
Yeah. Yeah, had a hell of a time. Yeah. It was a blast. Yeah, it was good. It was very good.
Yeah, I enjoyed myself.
Quite
a bit. Quite a bit. Yes.
You don't say.
Mm-hmm. I was trying to think if there was anything else, but I think that's pretty much the deal.
That was the rock show.
Oh,
we
no.
definitely needed.
I got there's a couple things I want to bring up from the show that I thought were great, which was how the Menzingers kept breaking into "Come Down" by Bush.
Yes.
Like when they were just like, okay, we're going to play whatever. And then they would just start playing that song, but they didn't play the whole song. The one guy would just start singing it a little bit, and then they would stop and then go into one of their songs. And they did that, 3 or 4 times across the night.
Yeah.
And it was funny every time. It cracked me up every time they did it.
And they played a little Green Day and fucked up the lyrics.
Yeah, they played When I Come Around, and the guy actually, he screwed up by getting lyrics out of order first, then he totally forgot and then just started going blah, 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 blah. So,
yeah, it was good.
Yeah. And then my favorite part, which was, for one of their songs, they played this like little intro thing, and then in the crowd, some people went like 1, 2, 3, 4, and it just fucked their timing up, and they had to stop.
Yeah.
And they laughed about it. You know, it was, you know, great, you know, good natured about it. It was good. So, yeah.
All in all, it was a very fun, once again, need to do more rock shows.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Morty's in our life, Brian.
I need to find a way to make a Mr. Freeze suit to go to shows in, though.
Well, at least at Frankie's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or
just a big block of ice under your hat.
Yeah, I was going to say, or maybe, you know, don't go to shows in the summer, but it, you know, it still would have been hot as hell in there if it was winter. Because I remember going to that place when we were, like you said, high school, fresh out of high school, and it was always hot in there.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Anyway. Good times.
Good times.
Oh, right.
Well, so the next day, you know, I got the family together and, you know, got my mom's giant SUV because we went to Cedar Point with some of my kids' friends.
Yep.
And that was more dissension in the shit showness for myself. It was a good time. Don't get me wrong. Always have fun.
You know something I don't remember. I don't think you mentioned, which was on Wednesday when we got to one of the places. Oh no, it was when we were waiting for Jeannie. When you were like, I am just ready to not be in a damn vehicle.
Yes.
You know. So then you decided to drive to Cedar Point.
Here's how my morning started, because I was like, "Hey, Leah, the address for your friend doesn't exist anywhere around us. Like, I'm looking in Lambertville, I'm looking in Temperance. I'm like, this street does not exist. Mm-hmm. It's because her friend lives in Monroe.
Oh my, okay.
So I mean, like,
it's not terribly far, but it's far enough.
It's far enough.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, so we pile in the car like 7 a.m. to, you know, Leah and I go pick up her friend, which the friend's mom was freaking out because her, you know, daughter's never done anything like this before and blah, blah, blah. First time she's met me. And
oh, wow.
So that was a whole thing.
I'm sure that was traumatic for her, meeting you.
I know, right? Well, the problem was, because I asked Leah, I'm like, so, do you know, like, is your friend's mom going to be awake? And she's like, oh, no, she said she'll be asleep, and, you know, she'll just run outside and get in the car. I'm like, okay. So I was trying to deal with an email on my phone, and I look, and there's a fidget coming at me, because this woman's mom is, like, super short.
Right.
And I'm like, duh. So I'm, you know, then I'm out, and then it looks all awkward. You know, whatever.
Yeah.
But,
classic Tony.
But yeah, you were correct. Sitting in the parking lot at Jeannie's work, I was like, I'm ready to be out of a vehicle, and it's all I've been doing the past 2 days.
Right. That's what I was getting at. Yeah.
So, you know, we come back to the house, get everybody in the car, head Cedar Point. And the best part is that the kids are all old enough now that we pulled up and got them in because we had tickets on our phones for the kids' friends, So we got the kids in the park. We're like, meet us at Ocean Motion at 4:00, and then we left.
Right. Nice.
Which was nice.
Right.
Yeah.
And if they're not at the car by 4, you leave them there. I mean, that's...
Leave them there.
Yeah.
So, we zipped on out. We went and got coffee at a place I've never been to before. It was phenomenal. We're sitting there, and Jeannie's like, I'm a little hungry. You want to get lunch? And I'm like, yeah, sure. So I look on my phone. There's a place within walking distance. And it advertised, authentic, style hot dogs and craft beer. We're like, oh, perfect.
Yeah. Right.
And it's this little place called HD Tony's.
Mm-hmm.
And we walk in, and it's got a great bar. It was a really nice place. The dude who's the bartender used to live in Toledo, so we started bullshitting about all the stuff in town because he used to work for, God, I can't remember now. He used to work for somewhere. Granite City. That's what got him into craft beer.
Okay.
Right? But dude, this place was they're like, hey, we got a special today. It's 2 hot dogs and fries for $5.99. Like, how? Because we weren't super hungry.
Mm-hmm.
We just wanted something to get us by. Like, yeah, it's perfect. So we had a couple pints. Then, dude, the hot dogs show up like porn level dick hot dogs.
Yeah, I saw your picture.
The hot dogs were ridiculous.
That certainly was. Yeah.
And they were delicious. And the fries were even better. And I was like, this is a phenomenal find. So if you go to Sandusky in Ohio, highly recommend HD Tony's for a quick bite. And the beer, they had I think 16 beers on tap, all craft. It was nice.
That's not bad, yeah.
I know, right? It was a nice little find for us.
Right. Well, that's cool.
So, head back to the park, and we just kind of walked around waiting for 4:00 to happen. Met the kids, and we left to go get dinner. And, because I can't just go to, Fridays or something. I got to find something.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And I found this place. It's called Dockside Cafe, and it sits right on the lake. The food's pretty cheap, and I got a $5 mojito that was delicious. I'm like, oh shit, they have a full bar? Yes, please.
Right.
Who knew?
Right.
And I always did that. Got some ice cream. Went back into Cedar Point because at nighttime is when they're doing the virtual reality Iron Dragon.
Oh yeah, right. Yeah.
Yeah. So we went back to go do that, and just because we went on,
Wait, are
Thursday.
you saying? Hold on, is this a salty follow up?
It is, Brian.
Oh my!
It is
with first-hand reporting.
First-hand reporting on the spot.
Oh my god!
So it was perfect because since it was a Thursday and they were forecasting rain earlier, the park was empty. So we got back, and unfortunately for Leah, her friend didn't want to ride anything.
Oh, that sucks.
She still had fun hanging out with her, and they did some of the small stuff.
Yeah.
But Leah was like her friend went to use the bathroom, and Leah was like, I really am having fun hanging out with her, but it really sucks she doesn't want to ride anything.
Yeah, that always does suck.
And I'm like, well, sorry, she's because her friend's like, I've never been on anything like this. I've never been to Cedar Point.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, that's kind of, it was either hit or miss because sometimes the kids will bring a friend they've never been there and they ride everything.
Right.
This girl unfortunately was not cut from that mold or whatever.
Yeah. Well. Yeah. What are you gonna do, right?
So,
yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So she sat with Jeannie, and then Leah and I went and rode a couple things that she wanted to ride, which was good.
Right.
But she wasn't old enough to ride Iron Dragon because you have to be 13. She's 12. Although next time we're just going to tell her she's 13. Because, dude, Iron Dragon VR is fucking incredible.
Really?
It's great. They have the goggles they give you aren't great. The resolution kind of sucks.
Uh-huh.
But it's you put them on and it looks like you're sitting in a cart. And there's a castle.
Right.
And what makes it cool is because, Iron Dragon's, it's a decent coaster, but it's not super thrilling.
Right.
It doesn't have crazy hills, doesn't have loops, nothing like that. It's kind of fast in some points, but whatever.
Right.
But what makes it cool is you have this thing on, and now you can't see what's coming ahead of you in the track.
Oh, wow. That's cool.
So that's kind of like a surprise. And it's VR. You look around, it's just this fantasy world. It's weird because I kept trying to look over at Jeannie, and I'm just seeing the edge of my wagon,
Oh, wow. That's crazy. Yeah.
So it was kind of weird. But the fact that you can't see what part is going to happen in the roller coaster, and then you have the shit happening right in front of you, dragons attacking and giants swatting at you, and
yeah,
it's pretty cool.
That sounds pretty awesome.
Yeah, it really, like, I mean, I've always enjoyed getting on the Iron Dragon, but it's never one of those things I get on, I'm like, yeah!
Right.
At the end of that, I was just like, holy shit, that was incredible. And I haven't been on a ride in a while that's done that to me.
Nice.
And that's an old ride.
It is. That ride is, God, when did that ride open? When we were in junior high, high school?
It's been around forever. And I can't tell you, every time we go to the park, we ride it. And when Logan was super young, I probably rode it 10 times in one day because he loved it.
Oh, wow. So, I mean, it's older than I thought.
When did it open?
1987.
There you go. So, and with the VR action, it's awesome.
That's really cool.
Yeah, it's like I hope they do more stuff like this, or maybe different storylines or something.
Yeah, well, and it's cool too because, like you said, it's a great way to jazz up an old ride. You know,
right? Yeah,
because like you said, it's a fine ride. It's just nothing. It's nothing spectacular anymore. When it first was introduced, it was like, this is a great ride. You know,
right?
Now you've rode it. You know, thousands of times. Well, how many ever times? I don't know. Just a bunch.
A lot.
Yeah,
I've been on a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
yeah, because it's always one of those that you always go on because it's a fine. You know.
Yeah, like we were standing in line waiting. I'm like, I don't think I've ever waited 45 minutes for the Iron Dragon.
Except for maybe, like seriously going back to its first few years or something. But yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Usually it's pretty much on and off.
Yeah, so I don't know. It's if you go to Cedar Point this summer, and I think they run it between 4 and 8.
Yeah.
They do the VR.
Okay.
You have to do it.
Well,
it's incredible.
I'm going to include a link for they actually on YouTube. There's an Iron Dragon point of view video.
So you can see.
It's not the VR one because obviously
it's like if you're riding.
Just so if somebody wants to kind of see, what the ride looks like or whatever, you can see it.
Like there's one point, and I don't want to give away any spoilers because there is points that are like, make you have like jump moments.
Uh-huh.
But I hear Logan behind me just go, "Holy shit! That scared the crap out of me."
That's great.
So yeah, it was great. I can't recommend it enough.
I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then once again, we left the park to go home, and the drive from Cedar Point to Monroe to drop off her.
And Cedar Point's what, like 2.5 hours?
It's about an hour and a half.
Oh, okay. I don't know why I was thinking longer. Okay.
But then, to drive past the house to go up to Monroe to drop her off, then to come down into Temperance to drop off Logan's friend, and then to go home.
Yeah. Yeah.
Was just not. It was brutal.
Yeah, I'm sure you were ready to be home.
I was ready to be home.
Yeah.
And then today we got up and we did some stuff around the house. But then it was like, we're planning on going to Detroit today, and we did. But once again...
Another drive. Even though, again, it's not terribly far, but it's still, however long it is, just extra.
Yeah, exactly, right? So then I was like, well, we had to go bring my mom's car back.
Mm-hmm.
And then from her house, we, went up to Detroit, and I don't. People shit on Detroit. Mm-hmm. It's a great city.
It is, yeah.
Like Show, your nephew.
Yeah.
He recommended to us a coffee shop that's in Wyandotte, which is a suburb called Biddle Brew because it's on Biddle Avenue.
Mm-hmm.
So we're like, well, we'll hit that because it's kind of like on the way,
right?
And then we'll go into Detroit. So we hit the coffee shop. It's a cool coffee shop. They got a game room upstairs, although you got to pay $5 to access the game room. But it's like once you pay it, you're all day. You're good.
Okay.
And I wanted to check it out, but you're not allowed up there unless paying. So I'm like, well, fuck it, I guess whatever.
Like by game room, is it like board games or?
Yeah, like a shitload of board games up there that you can just like open up and play.
Okay. Which
is cool, but we really honestly probably didn't have the time to go fully, invest or whatever. But if you lived in there, I'm sure it's amazing.
Sure.
Yeah. But so we're leaving the coffee shop though, heading into Detroit, and I glance over and I see this window. And it's got a pie and then crossbones under it, like a pirate-looking thing.
Sure, yeah.
And it's just called Dangerously Delicious. I was like, hey, honey, look at that. And she glances at it as we're driving by, and she's like, yeah, we need to go there. So I'm pulling a Yui, basically.
Sure.
to go to this goddamn pie shop, and I'm glad we did. We stopped in because we're going to like a birthday thing tomorrow, and Jeannie was supposed to make pies for it. We ended up buying a pie that we're going to take, and then this place does sweet pies and savory pies, right?
Okay.
So they had a pie called a smog, and it's steak, mushroom, onion, and Gruyere cheese.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah. So we're like, well, we'll get a slice of it, and then we all sat down and kind of split it.
Yeah.
Bro. It
sounds pretty good, yeah.
It comes with like this horseradish sour cream you drizzle across the top. Dude. It was killer. Like, best U-turn ever.
Yeah, right.
To go to this pie shop.
Yeah,
it was awesome.
You should, did you tell them that their logo is what got you to turn in, basically?
I did, actually. She was like, oh, have you ever been here before? And I was like, no. We actually saw your logo and pulled a Yui.
That's what good graphic design does for you, folks.
Yep, exactly.
Yep.
But had some delicious pie, and everyone was hungry because it was probably about 1 o'clock.
Hungry or dungry?
Just hungry because the pie kind of took the edge off.
Oh yeah, right. Okay.
But our original game plan was to go to Atwater Brewing, and then not far from Atwater is a bridge that takes you to Belle Isle, and there's like an aquarium, a conservatory, a museum. There's all kinds of stuff in Belle Isle to do.
Okay.
But it all closes at 5. So we're like, by the time we eat and we get there, we're not going to have enough time to enjoy everything,
Yep.
So we kind of changed our Detroit plans. But we went to Atwater Brewing. I can't recommend that enough either.
I can't remember. You guys been there before?
Never been there before.
Okay, I couldn't remember if you had or not.
Yeah.
I didn't think so, but I wasn't sure.
When we go to Detroit again, we'll have to go because I had about probably 3/4 of a pizza in my stomach right now.
Yeah.
The pizza was killer.
Right. I saw your picture of the flights that you got.
Yeah, each of us got a flight because, we're like one of the beers that we haven't had.
Right.
And you know how, if you had Atwater's Decadent Dark Chocolate Ale or Chocolate Stout?
I don't know if I have or not.
It's kind of under staple beers. It's really good, but they had it on nitro.
Oh, nice.
Dude, it was like a milkshake, man.
Yeah, I was just going to say with that creaminess in there, I bet it was.
Yeah, it was. The food was like, and it was all really good prices too, food and beer wise.
Good, like that.
So I mean, it was a nice spot. They had a rooftop, a beer garden. I took a walk up there when we were leaving just to check it out. It was just chill. Like the bartender was up there sitting at the bar drinking a beer and reading a book, and she's like, "Oh, hey, how's it going?" I'm like, "I'm good. I just had dinner downstairs. I wanted to come up here and see what this is about." She's like, "Yeah, it's really chill up here." I can tell.
Yeah.
Have a good one.
Yeah.
But Atwater was amazing, but once again, just straight derailment of my guts.
Yeah.
Just toppling beer and pizza into my face. But then we went, there was an RV dealer up there that was, deals in the campers we were talking about. So we went and visited them, and it's all family. So they had this brother and sister walk us around and let us go inside of things and check shit out, which was nice.
Right.
But from there, the bakery that Jeannie loves to go to in Greektown, the Astoria?
Yeah.
There's a location in Ferndale, in Royal Oak.
Okay.
That Calvin from Leading Questions podcast, he's also on Shot of History a lot. He told us about. So she's like, well, let's go to that, let's go to that Astoria. We'll get something and then we'll go home. Nope, that sounds great. Let's go to Royal Oak, and that's been a long time since I've been to Royal Oak. Fucking what a cool little town.
Yeah, it's been a long time since I've been there too, but it always,
there's so much like cool hipster shit. Like, just walking down and people eating out on the sidewalks, all these, they have one of those, beer, marketplaces there, it's like the stock market of beers.
Yeah. I think we talked about that actually.
Yes, that's another callback. They got one of those there. We didn't go to it because we already had plenty of beer. We got our delicious baked goods. Got more coffee. Because all the coffees apparently we need in our faces.
Yeah.
And then we ski-daddled out of there, and man, the traffic out of Detroit was brutal. Because we wanted to take 94 over, which is super local, to hit Ann Arbor, because Jeannie needs stuff to make the other pie for tomorrow. So, finally got out of traffic, made it to Ann Arbor, got the stuff for the pie, got more coffee, and finally made it home.
Oh, man.
But it was like, once again, it was all day in the car.
Yeah, exactly. And tomorrow you're not staying home, so...
No, we're not staying home tomorrow.
What about Sunday?
I have no idea. I just feel so defeated.
Yeah.
So defeated.
Yeah. Well, the way to look at it is you're just staying in practice for going back to work, right?
I guess, right?
Keep muscle memory and everything,
apparently.
Yeah.
And I think you're right. Like, before we started recording, you're talking about how you felt like your knees are feeling a little goofy from the concert, you think, from twisting and moving weird.
Yeah, trying to get out of people's way.
Like, all day today, and I think it's from sitting in the car, like, my lower back has been like a little twinge. It's like, Then it hits me again, and I think it's just from being in, and I know I'm in a car when I work, but I'm also out moving shit.
Right.
This has just been just driving and driving and
time to get out the foam roller.
I know, or something. I mean, Jesus.
Work on that sciatica.
Sciatica.
Ow.
Yeah, I don't know. Man, it's been a whirlwind couple of days. I can't say I'm not complaining, because I always forget until I go to Detroit how much I enjoy Detroit.
Right.
Yeah.
Like
it's one of those places I'm like, God, we need to get up here more often.
Mm-hmm. I know, that's why when I hear people bagging on the city and stuff, I'm like, listen, yes, there is a part of Detroit that you just don't want to go to. You know, but there's also part of that city where there's a lot of really cool stuff going on. It's, you just gotta know where you're going, so you stay out of the bad part of Detroit.
Well, it's like it's shrinking down, like the borders are shrinking down.
Yeah.
And it's kind of, there's definitely a lot of parts that are going through like a renaissance,
Yeah.
And granted, I love making fun of hipsters.
Yeah.
But I enjoy their neighborhoods because I like the foods they provide.
Right.
Like, it's a pie shop. Mm. This is awesome.
Like, they spell it SHOPPE.
Shoppy.
Yeah. But it's so good.
Like, it's artisanal pretzels or something.
Oh, here's a soda fountain.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's just, I love shit like that.
Yeah.
So, if you're bagging on Detroit, go fuck yourself.
It's easy to do, but whatever. I think, you can really do that about probably any city you live in. No matter what city is, no matter how great it is, there's the other side of it.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
All the people talk about how New York's the greatest city in the world. It's like, there's a lot of garbage with Detroit, or Chicago, or New York, or, any city like that. So,
Well, even where Frankie's, where we went and saw the concert at, is not the best part of Toledo.
It is not, no.
Yeah, once you cross the river, it gets a little sketchy on that end.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, like you said, it's no matter what, you're always going to have a shitty part of your town.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, it's just going to happen. That's why I think it's kind of like, and I'm sure there's some cities out there, especially like, not really cities, but towns. There's probably towns where you could be like, there is nothing to do here and not be lying,
Right.
But it's like, it always kills me when people say that kind of stuff too about, like, the city we're from, Toledo, It's like, oh, there's nothing to do. It's like, bullshit, there's plenty to do here,
Yeah.
Just go find it,
Exactly. That's the problem, is they're not willing to go find it.
Yeah. And it's easy to find because there's at least like 2 or 3 different things that are like, like exploretoledo.com or what, like those kind of things, that exist. So it's like, Google exists. So, just concerts in Toledo, boom, you find a bunch of music, or
definitely
good restaurants in Toledo. There's all sorts of apps you can, or wherever you live. So I'm kind of with you. It's like, it was so easy to bag on Toledo for a while, because really Toledo in a lot of ways was kind of, shitting itself, but it's been on the rise too. So,
Yeah, it's like, especially if you go into our downtown now, I mean, 15 years ago, it was a dump.
Yeah, it was.
And now there's a ton of bars and restaurants down there. I mean, it's so much to do in downtown Toledo now.
What's really funny, not funny, but you know what I mean? It's like, when we were kids, they had a thing in Toledo here that they modeled off another city, and it was called Portside. And the whole idea
Yeah.
for it was to get people downtown to go to shops and restaurants, but it just didn't work. You
Right.
know, and there's probably a lot of politics and bullshit and all that stuff that, you know, whatever. But now we get the baseball team moved downtown, the world famous Toledo Mud Hens.
World famous.
Yeah.
What?
We get the Toledo Walleye, our hockey team, gets a new arena downtown. And now there's tons of bars and restaurants and music venues and, you know, these kind of things all popping up around there. So it's, you know, it's the place to be. So, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
So quit shitting on your town, you know, go find out the best parts of it.
Right. Exactly.
Well, you can still shit on it. I mean, we shit on Toledo plenty, but
Well, yeah, but we live here. We're allowed to.
right. We also appreciate, you know, the other side.
I was
of
going to say, on the flip side, despite the fact we shit on it,
Yeah.
I guarantee you, like, if I was not feeling like death, if I just went, hey, Brian, I'm coming over to get you out. We're going to go do something. We could go have fun somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. Go
You
through
can walk into any bar and there's people playing right now.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, probably.
You know?
Yeah.
And they're usually decent.
Yep. Or if they're not, then that becomes the source of our entertainment for the night either way.
This is extremely accurate.
Yeah. So anything else or that catch you
That
up?
about sums up since, you know, we last hung out, basically.
All right. So I went to the grocery store yesterday, right? And while I'm in
Yeah.
there, I cracked up because there was this little kid that they had this like dump bin with the Reese's peanut butter cups have like crunchy cookie inside of them now. So
It sounds like diabetes.
yeah, it
Delicious diabetes.
It was. I tried them, but anyway,
Hilarious.
I'm weak. Anyway, this little kid, he's probably, I don't know, 7, somewhere in that range, you know, and he's like, Mommy, can I get one of these? And she's like, no, it's too close to dinner time, and then we're doing something else or whatever. And he was like, and she goes, I don't want you to ruin your dinner or whatever. And then he goes, you're right. He's like, and you are the best cook. And I'm like, and I just cracked up because, you know, he's trying to butter her up, you know, and she's standing there and she laughs and rolls her eyes, you know, and the kid, then the kid's like, please, he's like, I've been really good. And when I go home, I'll clean my room. I'll go to bed early tonight. And I'm like, whoa, this kid needs some help with his bargaining. Cause
Yeah, really. Jeez.
you don't put it
Still needs
all
in.
Yeah, you don't put it all out there. You one little thing at a time, you know, maybe a couple things to sway the thing here. But anyway, she's like, no, you know, and the kid's like, okay, you know, whatever. And I was like, wow, you know, because the kid was just told no, and she, you know, and the kid was just like, all right, fine, and whatever. Well, the mom basically had the kid grab something to distract him, and when he did, she threw one on the thing, you know. But it was just kind of funny how I was just laughing at how this kid was seriously just like, okay, the first thing didn't work. I'm all in. You know, like,
Yeah, exactly.
fuck it, I'm going for broke.
Like, oh, the negotiations didn't work? Launch all the missiles.
Yeah.
Like, what?
You know what, though? I did appreciate the fact that when the kid was told no and stuff, that he didn't go nuclear, though. You know? It wasn't like throwing
Well, that's
shit
true.
and
'Cause some kids will go, they'll go sideways big time.
The kid just was like, okay, you know, and I think the mom was probably gonna get it for the kid anyway. I think she just didn't want him to know it, so he would want it before dinner, basically, I think is what her plan was. But
Right.
then the kid upped the ante, you know. And I was like, you know, she should have just agreed if she was going to get it for the kid. Been like, okay, you know, get him to clean his
Like,
room.
oh, you're going to do all this? Perfect.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe you should wash the dishes too.
That's incredible.
Yeah. But anyway, yeah, it was kind of, like I said, it was just different because normally when you see that out in public, it seems more like it goes the other way to where the, you know, parent says no and the kid just basically then is thrashing on the floor or turns into the Incredible Hulk, you know, so.
Right.
Yeah.
Damn pint-sized Hulk.
Yeah. Man. So
Which seems awesome.
last night I'm reading I'm like a year behind comics right now, right?
Fair enough. Okay.
So I'm reading Captain Marvel #7. Now, if you're listening and you happen to read comics, I don't mean the Captain Marvel that like just came out. I mean, again, a year ago. Anyway, there's this panel in there where I don't know if you saw it. I posted it on my Instagram. She goes into this room and there's a character named Ulysses in this room, and she's basically like, "Hi, Ulysses," and he's like, "I'm trying to meditate here," and she goes, "This'll only take a minute." That's pretty much the dialogue. She has 2 parts to his 1. Right. And whoever did the lettering or whatever got them backwards, because her dialogue was pointed toward him and his dialogue was pointed toward her. And that's a pretty big error in a Marvel comic book, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
And
I don't know how it made it to print without someone catching it.
Right? Yeah, because there should be multiple checks on that, essentially. And, shit happens. It was just like, wow, because you really don't see that often. You know?
Right.
They're usually pretty good about getting stuff right. Occasionally you might see a typo or something like that, but it's usually pretty good. I was just kind of blown away with it. I took a picture of it and sent it to Fluffy Bunny Ash because her and I were talking around the same time. And I was like, I just saw this. And it was like on my first pass of reading it, I was like, that's not right. Like, the dialogue's backwards.
Did you go back and reread it a couple times?
I did. Sure you weren't crazy? I did, yeah, because I was like, maybe. And I'm like, nope, because it's like she's on the left, he's on the right, and the dialogue is facing the wrong way. Like I said, if you want to see it, the pictures. Well, you have to follow me on Instagram, I guess. But if I think of it, I'll upload it to our Salty Language account. So go follow us on. Was it Salty Language on Instagram? You're the link guy tonight.
It's Salty Language Pod on Instagram, I believe.
Okay.
Yes.
I don't know. If not, the link's on the website. What website?
Right, truth.
What website?
SaltyLanguage.com. Of course.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yay.
So, I told you I got a different phone now. And,
yes. I hear you're pretty close to having current technology.
Yeah. So, here's something. It was so funny because after I get everything squared away on it, I back up my information on the old one, and then put it onto the new one and everything. I had to call Verizon because for some reason it would not activate.
Really?
And the woman on the phone's like, it shows that it's activated. And she goes, well, this is weird. She's like, I can't see what type of phone you have. She's like, it should say iPhone 6. And I was like, yeah, every time I call a number, it says that this number is either disconnected or, blocked basically or something. And so that took, they were super nice. It didn't take that long. It took about 15 minutes to square it away, but still it was weird. Normally when you switch stuff over, you just dial the one activation number and you're done,
Right.
So whatever, no big deal. But I was griping and I caught myself because, first world problems. And I'm sitting there and I'm bitching to myself essentially because I've got to go through and re-enter all my passwords now.
Well, it does suck though.
It does, but I'm sitting there going, Oh,
there could be better things to bitch about.
Yeah. It's like I'm sitting in an air-conditioned house, eating my Reese's peanut butter cups with crunchy cookie inside, while I'm on an iPhone, looking at one iPhone to see how to get things moved onto another iPhone.
Fair enough. I guess I get it, Brian.
Meanwhile, right in front of me was a laptop, and it's just like I said, first world problems, Somewhere there's some kid that hopes that, there's not a bunch of bacteria in the water he's going to drink. So.
Right.
Meanwhile, I'm like, oh, seltzer water. Delicious. Oh, damn it, it's empty. So, yeah. Just, it's always, I always like in life when you get that opportunity to catch a little perspective, and
right,
you're just like,
definitely.
You're like, you're being an asshole, stop it. So, yeah, good times.
But at the same time.
Yeah, look, it is.
It really affects you at the time.
It does, and it's an incredible pain in the ass, especially when it's like an app you haven't logged back into in like 3 years, and you're like, oh my god, what is that password?
Right, exactly. That's the thing that pisses me. It's like, I know you back up your phone. It should back up all that shit.
Mm-hmm. It might, and I just didn't do something. I really don't know. It probably would if you back up. Apple has the what is that? That keychain or whatever it's called.
The keychain.
Yeah, I bet if you, I don't use that, so I bet if
I didn't use it either, and I should have, because I am a cunt.
Didn't you and I talk about that?
Yeah, it's all coming back to me. Actually.
That's right.
It's all coming back.
Really? You gonna start singing some Celine Dion here?
I might.
As long as it's not the fucking song from Titanic.
Yeah, exactly. I can't remember what that song goes. I'll break into it like a fucking doucher.
Oh God, I can remember it. It'll be burned in my head forever.
Forever, ever?
Oh, forever, ever. Forever.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah. I read yesterday they have a release date now for the 30 for 30 on Nature Boy Ric Flair.
Really?
Yep.
That's most excellent.
Yeah. Here's the part that sucks. Not until November 7th.
Really?
So far away. Yeah. It's like, if it's done, fucking air it.
Yeah, really. Exactly.
Yeah. It was funny, though, like when I saw the first post, I think the first comment that I saw was, "This isn't a sport. You should be ashamed of yourself, ESPN." And I'm like, have you watched ESPN? They have fucking poker on the network. Wrestling's every bit as much... Wrestling's more of a sport than poker is. The only thing about poker that's a sport is the endurance part of it, because you have to sit and basically piss yourself because you can't leave the table. It's like, stop it. It requires no athletic ability, really, to play poker.
That's why you need race catheters.
Yes. You do, however, have to have some athletic ability to be a professional wrestler, at least at that level,
Right.
It's like, come on. Anyway, enough of that. But it's like, ESPN's had a lot of things that are questionable as far as sports go,
Well, yeah, definitely.
over the years. So, not to mention, it's like, who cares? This is just going to be an entertaining thing. If you don't want to watch it, crazy thing, you can just not watch it.
Yeah, exactly, right?
I know, shocking.
Like, just change the channel, maybe.
Right?
That would be neat.
I only have my TV on ESPN. Now what am I going to do for that hour?
I'm trying desperately to burn in the logo in the corner screen. I don't know if you do have new TVs.
I don't either, yeah. God, I remember that, though, and those old, projections and shit.
Right?
Oh, my God. Or even on monitors, like on computers.
Oh,
After a while, you'd have, a taskbar at the bottom or something. So they'd be like, you should move your taskbar every so often so it doesn't burn into the screen.
You're like, wait, what? That happens?
It's like, why? It's pretty awesome.
Thank God the lid's on that. I just booted over my water.
Oh, come on.
Woo!
No. You almost got it right.
Yeah. Woo!
With 6
Better.
O's. Yeah.
I think there were 6 there.
Yeah. There is
their
post.
We'll have to check the closed captioning.
Nice. Somebody in one of the Twitter rooms I'm in posted a Ric Flair gift the other day, and it has 8 O's, and I was like, it should be 6. Always 6.
Yeah. That's not a properly licensed GIF.
Mm-mm. Came right from Nate himself. So
right, exactly.
ESPN got it right on their Facebook though.
Nate.
Yeah. So
the Nature Boy.
Woo.
There's something we do have to do, Brian.
There is?
There is something we need to do.
Okay.
And unfortunately, he won't be able to hear your end because of the nature of my phone.
Okay.
Until he listens to the podcast.
Okay.
But today is listener Patreon subscriber Philip's birthday.
It is. You're right.
It is. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to make a quick little Snapchat and say happy birthday to him.
Right.
And then I'll flip it. I'll do a little flip-a-doozle and flip it on you so you can wave or some dumb shit.
That's weird.
It's up to you.
All right.
It's up to you.
I mean, I did say happy birthday to him earlier. But...
Oh, well, then I wouldn't worry about it.
I sent him a video of me dressed as Marilyn Monroe singing happy birthday to him,
Well, naturally.
As we do, yeah.
As is tradition.
Mm-hmm. That's what Patreon subscribe. No.
Well, here you go. Perfect. I'll just say happy birthday as this fucking little meerkat rat thing.
Oh,
That's
okay.
a Snapchat filter.
Okay, I was like, what the hell are you talking about?
So we're going to start right now. So, hey there, subscriber to Salty Language that I'm currently recording, and Patreon person and listener and fellow podcaster with ML Beers and birthday boy, happy birthday and stuff. Nice grill stuff. I'm a rat. Perfect. Yeah.
Wow. All right then.
Yeah. So there you go. We'll just pass it on to him. Boom, and sent.
Nice.
I've the past couple days I've fully embraced Snapchat. I don't know if anyone's noticed.
I've noticed. You're all in, like that.
I'm
kid.
all in,
Like
baby.
that kid. Yeah.
Yeah. It's fun. It's too much fun not to.
Yeah, it can be.
You know.
I know. Every time I use it and I use those filters and stuff, I'm always like, I'm too old for this shit. But then I continue. Just do it anyway.
I sometimes feel like that too, and then I also get hit with the nah.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just too much damn fun not to do
exactly.
this.
Yeah. So it's like, what are you gonna do? Embrace it, I guess.
It's too silly.
Too silly. You're right.
Too sweet.
Nice. Oh,
right.
So, well, it'll already have, been have already happened by the time people get to listen to this. But tomorrow night is the premiere of Rick and Morty.
Oh, that's right.
Finally, yeah. So
it's going to be hard pressed for me to figure out what I'm going to watch: Game of Thrones or Rick and Morty.
No, tomorrow's Saturday.
See, these days off from work.
I know, right?
Wowzer.
You may have to just watch.
Okay,
both.
then.
If you watch it Sunday,
okay, terrific.
If you watch it Sunday, you can just watch both.
Yeah, perfect.
Mm-hmm.
It all works out, Brian.
Mm-hmm.
It all works out.
Problem solved.
Apparently, I can just watch them both.
Yep.
Oh, what an asshole.
Just put one up on the TV, pull one up on some other device, the laptop. Boom.
The other TV.
The other TV, done.
The laptop.
Mm-hmm.
Projected into my pants.
Weird, but sure.
Why not?
Kind of a weird place for a screen. Unless it's on the inside, so when you're like, you drop trow to have a sit down and the screen's right in your pants.
What? Exactly. That's perfect.
Then you don't have to worry about, your phone or anything. Although I don't know how you keep the screen clean.
Well, you got to have a pristine asshole.
Well, it doesn't have to be in the back. I mean, it could be in the front. Oh. But either way, you've got to have a pristine...
You're like, man, that guy's got a flat ass. It's almost like he's carrying a TV in there.
Is that a 50-inch ass?
50-inch 1080p, motherfucker. 50-inch 4K.
He takes the butt flap off so somebody behind him can watch TV. Oh, shit.
Oh, my God, that sounds horrible.
Yeah, it does. What a terrible idea.
You see that man with the TV in his shorts? That's how you get ass cancer, Myrtle. That's how you get it. Oh, Clint. Sorry, Clint. You just became an old man.
Yeah, that happens. Oh, were you making a statement, or were you talking about the podcast? He did have a birthday.
Because of his recent birthday as well?
Yeah. Thought maybe Thought maybe you were, giving him some gentle nudging.
Gentle nudging. No.
Like an elbow to the side of the neck.
That would be gentle.
Yeah. Sneaky elbow. Yep. Of course.
Yes.
Those are my favorite kind.
Exactly.
See, do you have anything else for the week? I got nothing else. That's it.
No, that's what I got so far.
Right.
Oh, I do have to bitch about one thing.
Not too late. We already missed it. What?
Boo! I didn't realize this was a real thing. The Emoji Movie.
Yeah,
really?
It's got a whopping 0% on Rotten Tomatoes. The last time I noticed.
Good. It should. How is this a thing? I remember seeing stuff on the internet, and I thought it was all like just people being, silly, like internet silly.
Nope.
I didn't realize it was an actual...
Like a legit thing with like T.J. Miller and Patrick Stewart and yeah.
Yeah, it's currently got a 6% on the tomato meter.
Okay, well it's really gone up then.
Right?
Whatever.
What?
Yeah. I think I'd rather rewatch the Punjabi prison match.
I'd rather have Punjabi Prison, the movie. I'd rather have Kennel in a Cell, the movie.
Ooh, that could be good.
I mean, it took me a while to kind of embrace the emoji until I think we talked about it here. And it's like, these are kind of like modern versions of hieroglyphs. I get it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to watch Hieroglyph the movie, so for sure not watching emoji movie.
So we need to secure the rights to Hieroglyphs to make Hieroglyph the movie.
This is true. It would be kind of like, what was it, the Gods of Egypt, that awful movie of Jamie Lannister? But with Hieroglyphs.
I just like the fact that you use his character name, not his...
I don't know his real
I don't
name.
either. I don't, yeah. Hell, I barely know his character name because, there was a guy in a room I was in was talking about how in between... Like when a season ends of Game of Thrones before the next season begins, he's like, I forget everyone's name. And I'm like, me too, every season just about. Because then they start and I'm like, who the hell is, now it's, spoilers. It's a little easier as they keep killing people off. But
as people die, it gets way easier.
Or if they repeat it a lot, like Jon Snow,
Oh yeah, true.
His name has been said about 1 billion times in the episode. So, easy to remember. Yeah.
Well, there you
go. So, Emoji Movie, right out for you?
Like I said, I thought it was a joke, so there's no way I'm watching it ever.
Come on.
No. Can I review it on the tomato meter and just leave? I don't know how many characters it gives you to leave a review.
Yeah.
But I'm just going to fill it just with all poop emojis.
That's perfect.
As is tradition of the movie.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's
right.
I'm so curious to see what kind of money that does its first weekend.
Oh, I hope it does terrible money. Yeah. Did it just come out this weekend?
Maybe.
July. What is today?
The 28th.
Okay, it premiered today.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm very curious to see how that turns out.
Oh God, it's.
Yeah, I can't imagine going to spend money on that movie, Nope.
No. If they were like, okay, here's the deal. You can buy tickets for your family for the Emoji Movie.
Mm-hmm.
Or we're going to hit you with a hammer. I'll be like, I wonder where they're going to hit me at.
Doesn't matter.
Because I can heal from the physical damage of a hammer.
Depends on where
I cannot heal from the emotional trauma that the Emoji Movie will do to me.
That's probably true. Yeah.
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 Just saying.
Like, hey, tonight only, free showing the Emoji Movie. Hard pass.
Exactly. Yeah, I'd rather sit home and like cry in the corner.
Oh, that's a good time.
Than have a free viewing of the Emoji. If they're like it's in stunning 3D.
Stunning.
And you get free popcorn and a 6-pack of beer and a hand job.
Listen, if that was going on, I mean, I'd probably go.
Well, I mean,
I'd ask what kind of beer first, though.
I'll never turn down free popcorn and hand job.
I hope I get the popcorn first.
Yeah, definitely. Request the popcorn first, for sure.
It's like that old joke about cheese sandwiches and hand jobs. You know?
Exactly. Wash your hands and make me a cheese sandwich.
Yep. Oh, man. I'll be honest, though. If that movie was playing somewhere for free, I would be like, dude, we need to go see this movie so we can review it.
Well, yeah, I mean...
Because I think it would be too good to resist.
Yeah, for the show, I would take the hit.
Right.
For any other reason?
No.
I want nothing to do with it.
Yeah, like if they were like, we're gonna kill a close member of your family if you don't watch this movie, I'd be like, they had a good run. Anyway.
Yeah, we should get away from the emoji movie.
I got nothing else to talk about, though, so unless we just want to hit the Q of the W.
Well, I guess we can shift right into that, Brian.
All right, let's do that.
Well, man.
Play that theme music. Yeah, that was good stuff.
Cut. Cue the dubs. Yeah, that's theme music.
All right.
So last week, we asked you, what do you and 10-year-old you have in common with a bonus extra credit with a bonus extra credit question, which was, what book or comic book would you give your 10-year-old self?
Mm-hmm.
So on the
oddly enough,
pages,
everyone said Mein Kampf.
It's crazy.
Anyway, I'm just carrying the joke from last week. Anyway, moving on. Yeah.
So we guess here we got Jonathan on Facebook. He says 10-year-old me loved horror movies. 34-year-old me does as well. Watched The Black Coat's Daughter tonight. Don't recommend it. If you love horror movies, check out Emoji Movie. That's horror, not horrible.
Right.
My bad.
Right.
I would give my 10-year-old self the Lord of the Rings books. I didn't read them until the movies came out.
Okay. I still haven't read them. I own them, but have never read them.
Oh, man, it's good stuff.
Yeah.
Except for when there's 3 pages of just song lyrics, basically. And then the dwarves sang. It's like, beer and rocks and whatever else.
Remind me to never, ever have you write a song for me.
Beer and rocks and whatever else.
Yeah. That's a terrible song.
That's my hit single.
It's also a system of money that I think you've talked about before.
Yeah, probably beer and rocks and whatever else.
It was sticks and other stuff, but yeah. Anyway.
Yeah, it was like sticks and furs, whatever Canadians are into.
No, it wasn't about Canada. Anyway.
Oh, I think they've upgraded their monetary system. So now it's just beaver pelts and Timbits, I think.
You should stop you should stop besmirching our friends to the north.
I don't know, where else are we going to take refuge?
Exactly, when winter comes. Yeah.
Wait. Florida? I'll deal with the crazies down there in the warm weather.
Right, yeah. Why are you going north when winter comes? I want to go south.
Sounds like a terrible idea.
Sounds like somebody's crazy. Anyway.
So Dev from all kinds of pods everywhere.
I've heard
says
of it.
10-year-old me and I still both love sugary sweets a little too much.
Mm-hmm.
I'd give young me Bone. Not the Bone, but just Bone.
Well...
That's weird.
10-year-old him found it on its own.
I didn't read it until after college.
Oh, wow. Now, see, I read Bone when we worked at Collector's World. So it was, after high school is when I read it. That's a great read.
Yes.
Especially if you have kids. It's a, completely kid-friendly book. I mean, unless maybe a couple of things might be a little scurry for them, but if they're little.
I'm pretty sure I gave Logan the collected edition of Bone when he was probably 10 to 12 years old.
It's a really
he's
good read.
Read it enough that the spine is I'm gonna have to get him another copy.
Sure.
Because him and his sister both read it multiple times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a
good
really,
stuff.
really good series. Yeah.
So Clint, not the old man Clint, but Clint the podcaster.
So not the one that from, damn it, Gran Torino. There we go.
Right,
old
exactly.
Man, not that old man Clint.
Get off my lawn, Orientals, or whatever that movie is about.
Let's not do that. Let's not do that.
He says, my 10-year-old self and I still share an appreciation of classic rock. And I'd give him a graphic novel, The Crow.
Okay.
And then, birthday boy Philip. He says, myself and 10-year-old have in common is I'll fart and make whoever is near me smell it.
Wow. See, the worst part about that is when you're a kid, you can't generally force that many people to do it. When you're an adult, it's a whole different story. Because, he's got grown man strength now.
Yep, yeah, you just goon hand somebody.
Yeah, just grab it, one of the kids around you, or
shove them into your jeans.
The dog. Yeah. So they can watch TV?
Definitely. Check out my theater system. And I need a rant. It's like when they start up movies and it has the TRX or whatever, wow, but it's just ripping ass.
If we ever have a movie studio.
Oh yeah,
yeah,
definitely.
That's how we're starting the movie. Can you imagine sitting in the movie theater and that happens?
Oh my god, it'd be amazing.
Like, Jesus Christ.
It does the surround effect. Yeah. That'd be incredible.
That would be terrifying.
All right, so Annalise, please get Lucasfilm on this.
Yes.
I want one of the top sounding theaters in the world to just have surround sound farts.
Right, and all Tony and I need in return are, just some executive producer credits.
Well, yeah, naturally.
It's only fair.
Yeah, and a lightsaber.
Sure. 2 lightsabers.
Okay, yeah, 2 lightsabers. Each.
Yeah. For each hand.
Yeah. Well, yeah, of course. How am I going to dual wield?
Dual wield with both hands.
Yeah.
Look, I'm Grievous!
Then he would give 10-year-old Cell himself I can't even fucking read. Deadpool kills the Marvel Universe.
Oh, okay. That's a fun read.
That is a fun read.
It's pretty ridiculous.
Yes. Mm-hmm. So that's what I have on the face pages.
All right. Over on Twitter, we had Henno, my co-host over at The Crazy Life, or one of my co-hosts, I should say, of The Crazy Life, and our pal, and also from the Gotham Lights podcast. He says that 10-year-old me and today loves 10-year-old him and today him loves Star Wars. And he also said for last week, I think I missed it. Peter Gabriel, "Shock the Monkey" is his favorite music video.
Oh, that's a classic one.
Yep.
Yeah, and good call.
And I have another one here. And field reporter Jared, or former field reporter Jared, however you want to classify him, I don't know, because Tony's doing the field reporting now, apparently.
Apparently,
we had to cut,
sometimes the executives got to get their hands dirty.
That's right, don't forget where you came from, Holy shit, sorry, I just saw a thing update on Twitter that it says Robbie Ray, and it says D-backs pitcher takes 108-mile-an-hour fastball to the head.
It'll buff out, I'm sure.
Yeah. Anyway, Jared says that 10-year-old him and current him were both huge gamers, and he would give himself Dark Knight Returns so he can discover it sooner. Said he was an adult before he read it, which was, I think, that's what I said too, wasn't it? I think.
I believe so, yeah.
Yep.
If I remember right.
Yep. Do you remember? I remember.
Excuse me.
Good call. All right, so Fluffy Bunny Ash says, she said for the 10-year-old, her and current her both, she said she still basically has everything in common pretty much with 10-year-old her. And excuse me. She said that, but she also mentioned to me that when she sees back to school ads, they still fill her with sadness and dread.
Fair enough.
I can understand. Yeah.
I can also understand that.
And then as far as the books go, she said she would give 10-year-old her the Harry Potter books. She said she thinks she was 13 or 14 when they first came out and didn't really start reading them until I was in my late teens. I love them, but 10-year-old me would have loved them even more. Understandable, I can see that.
Right.
So that's what I got. That's it.
All right. Well, they must not use a hashtag, and I wish I could credit them who it was, but I remember seeing on Twitter someone popped across with just their penis size, and it really made me laugh. I can't remember who it was though, but yeah.
Oh wow!
It really made me guffaw.
Guffaw, eh?
Guffaw, yeah.
Wow.
Oh, you know what?
What?
Hold on, Brian.
What?
Hold on.
What?
I shared this from my thing.
Mm-hmm.
So it might have been on the one I shared.
Oh, okay.
Right?
Yeah, I was like, I'm scrolling through our mentions and I'm not seeing it here.
Unfortunately, the way crappy Oh, here he goes. Might be it. Crappy face page works. Yeah, here we go. I got 3 more, baby.
All right.
Yeah.
Let's hear him.
So it was a Ray's, a local that I know. He's the one that says penis size.
Okay.
Hilarious. Our pal, the flying squirrel, Jesse.
Yeah.
He says maturity. Him and 10-year-old self-share.
That's fair.
Yeah. And Jeffrey, I don't know why I say Jeff, because it says Jeffrey or Jeff from Hobie.
Joffrey.
He says, yes, Joffrey. He shares with his 10-year-old self disappointment at Disney World.
That's fair. All right.
Yeah.
Wow, so he was disappointed with it at 10 years old? That's, wow.
Apparently.
Damn.
Right?
So much for the happiest place on earth, I guess.
Exactly. So much for the happiest place on earth.
Wow.
So, yeah, a few more. Because I forgot I did that.
All right, awesome.
So,
damn it.
Y'all that answered.
I like what you got. Good job.
Boom. So, the QW this week I actually got from my my lovely wife. Shared this with me, and I thought it was a good one. So I figured we should share it with the likes of our listeners, eh?
Okay.
So, it's, if you were to pick an imaginary friend that stuck with you for the rest of your life, who would you pick?
Now, is this someone who has already existed and now they're your imaginary friend, or you would just
whatever?
Well, that's why I'm just curious because otherwise I don't know.
I'm going to go dealer's choice.
Okay.
It could be imaginary, or it could be a real person that currently exists or is dead.
Because it would be fun to have various people from like there's an episode of The Simpsons where or is it The Simpsons? Shit, I can't remember now. I don't think it is. Anyway, but it's one of the cartoons, and it's the guy is from Hogan's Heroes,
right?
And instead of taking the form of like a guardian angel or something like that, and the whole time the main character just keeps like asking them questions about Hogan's Heroes instead of like what they're supposed to be learning about. So it would be kind of funny to just have, a random character from a TV show, as your imaginary friend that's like giving you advice and talking to you all the time, that kind of thing. Man, I don't know who though.
Choices, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
If you've got an answer, go ahead. I don't really have one yet.
I think I'd have to pick something like part of me wants to pick, I can't remember his name now off the top of my head, but the dude from Police Academy with sound effects, because it might be just fun to have sound effects for his life. But at some point, you're going to just dive off a fucking bridge.
Right. Like there's a Family Guy where Peter wishes for theme music, and everything he does, there's music to it, but it's loud enough, like everybody can hear it. It's not just him that can hear it,
right.
Like that type of thing. And after a while, someone on a bus yells at him about it, and I was like, yeah, I could see that happening.
Yeah, exactly, right?
Yeah, like every time you go to start the car and he's doing the noise and you're like, dude, enough. Like the car won't start, but he keeps doing the noise, so you're pissed the car won't start, but he's sitting there, making the yeah, you're like, dude, enough. Seriously.
Like, Jesus. We get it.
Yeah. Fuck, I don't know who I would pick.
I think ultimately I'd have to pick, God, there's so many choices.
Yeah.
But I kind of think I would want, like, you ever watch Avatar?
Yeah. Wait.
Okay.
You talking? Yeah. Anyway, I'm thinking of something else.
I'm talking about the James Cameron movie.
Right.
I want the Marine leader. No, I kind of want. I can't remember the character's name now, but the Fire Nation kid with the burnt face. Prince Zuko.
Okay.
I kind of want his uncle.
Okay.
Because he's full of wise shit and he's entertaining at the same time.
Right. That makes sense.
Plus, we can have tea together, which is extra delicious.
Now, you're talking about like Eiffel Towering soundboard tea, or you're talking like drinking the beverage tea?
whatever everyone's into.
Why rule anything out?
Exactly, right?
Yeah. Oh my, poor T.
Because I think it'd be fun to have a cartoon character as a
yeah, that's kind of what I was saying,
too.
Right? Because like the ones that were popping in my head was I was thinking like Rafiki from The Lion King, because he would just kind of crack me up as he's telling me old wisdoms and whatnot,
right?
But I don't know. I'm trying to think who else it could be. Like something like Grandpa Simpson would be a lot of fun. As he drifts in and out of senility.
Yeah, I would agree with that. That seems pretty incredible.
Yeah. All right, well, let's just go with that. I'm going to go with Grandpa Simpson for now, because just the idea of it is just making me chuckle. So,
Grandpa Simpson, it is.
If not, it would be somebody from like, maybe someone from like historical context or something like that, or just R. Lee Ermey, to really.
Oh Jesus, that would be incredible!
Fucking motivate you all the time.
Oh my God, R. Lee Ermey, get the fuck off my obstacle!
What the fuck are you still doing in bed?
Oh, that would be incredible.
The best part, like I said, in my head, it's like nobody else can see or hear him, just me. So I'm just like all the time,
I kind of feel like R. Lee Ermey wins. I'm just saying.
All right, I'm changing my answer. Or, someone like Macho Man.
What's hilarious? It's amazing. Jeannie was like, well, if one of you guys doesn't pick Macho Man, then I don't understand what you're even doing.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, you can't tell me this because now you're polluting my answer.
Yeah, well,
and she's
there you
like,
go.
Well, let's see if Brian says it.
Or Iron Sheik. Oh, man, Iron Sheik.
Sheiky Baby?
Sheiky Baby. Sheiky Baby would be great as the devil on your shoulder.
Yeah, it would be pretty amazing.
What do you think, Sheiky Baby? Fuck him.
Yeah, Sheiky Baby.
Fuck him. He the jabroni.
Love it.
So there you go. Yeah.
So what we're saying is, what would your imaginary friend for until you finally die off this planet be?
Show me what you got.
Booyah.
Yep. All right. Well, I think that's it, right?
I believe so, Brian. Well, I mean, we got to do this just because. Haven't had one yet.
Well,
so.
Plus, I mean, we just mentioned Macho Man. I mean,
yeah, exactly.
Only fair.
It's only fair.
Should get a sound drop of Chic, like him saying,
"You're correct."
Sheiky Baby the real, or the number one, whatever, or any of his various sayings.
When he talks about camel clutch and humbling you,
Old Country Way, yeah.
Oof. Old Country Way.
I break his fucking back.
I break his back and fuck him in the ass. Like, whoa. Easy there, Sheiky Baby. Easy.
Man. Good shit.
Take her down a notch there, buddy.
He was.
That's even worse if that was him taking it down a notch.
Exactly, right? All right. Well, as always, we ask you to head over to saltylanguage.com. As Tony mentioned before, there's a sensual Patreon button there.
Super sensual.
Do all the fiddling with it. And, go to their site, and if you can help us out by throwing us some cash monies, that's cool. There's some fun stuff we think over there for, people who subscribe and support the show. Also, if you're over there, if you're going to be shopping on Amazon, please swing by saltylanguage.com first, and then hit the Amazon link, and it'll take you right to Amazon. You shop away as normal. It doesn't cost you anything extra, and they throw a little, lint or popcorn or something our way. And
a little something even.
Or, another way to help the show, which is totally free, is if you're using iTunes, please rate, review, subscribe. that helps us get found easier in the searches. And if you're using Stitcher or one of those other apps, please use the like or share options that they have. And, so tell all your friends about us.
Who are you?
Don't make us your secret shame.
We're salty language.
Yeah. We're the creepy clowns waiting outside your bedroom.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Now we're talking. Wait, what?
No? All right, fair enough. Also, while you're on saltylanguage.com, please check out the networks we're part of, such as the Tangent Bound Network, GeekLifeRadio.com, and...
Danger! Watch your back! Danger!
Entertainment.
Yeah.
Yeah. So go check those out. There's a bunch of shows on those networks that may tickle you all the way down to your cockles.
Maybe even your subcockles.
Maybe even your colon. I had to play it through. Thanks, Dennis Leary.
Yep.
What am I forgetting on the website? I feel like there's something else. Show notes, all that stuff. All the social media's links is on there, and you can look, well, I guess the best way to contact us. Well, first of all, leave us, call us, give us a voicemail. We haven't had that many.
It's true. It's been a minute since we had a voicemail.
Call in with your Q of the W answer. Call in with a suggestion for a Q of the W. Call in with a topic for us to discuss amongst ourselves.
I mean, if you don't have it in your phone already, it's 415-857-2589.
Put it in your emergency contacts.
Yes.
Oh my God, this man's having a heart attack.
Yeah, phone rings, it's the police from wherever city you're in. We're like, who? What? We don't know. What?
Yeah.
What's his Twitter name? Oh, okay.
Yeah. Your live caller, This is Salty Language.
Oh, that'd be hilarious.
Who we talking to? This is...
This man's been shot.
And?
This man's been shot.
Yeah.
Just start dropping soundboard.
Right. Please stop. We're trying to find his family. Who are you people? What do you mean, you people? Yeah.
We're the police.
Oh, good for you.
All right, that's enough of that.
That's enough of that. Yeah, if you want to, so call us and leave us a voicemail. Or, if you want to contact the show other ways, I guess you can do that over on Twitter at salty_language. You can find me at Stunami.
You can find me at Monotony.
And Tony's super active on Twitter.
Yeah, so active.
So active. What?
You can also, if you want to, do some interactions, Salty Language on Facebook, Salty_language on Snapchat, Salty Language Pod on Instagram. Anything else, Brian? Stunami at Snapchat?
Oh, Ninjitsu.
Ninjitsu, my bad.
Some asshole had Stunami when I signed up for it.
Well, that means we got to go track him down and probably murder him and his family.
It's funny. When I first started using the Stunami nickname,
yeah,
all those years ago, there was I never had problems getting it on a site. Now, half the sites I go to sign up for or something, like when it'll just, what's your username for the site, I'll use Stunami, and sorry, this is already taken. And, of course, the first thing going through my head is, did I already sign up for this?
Right, yeah, of course.
And then it's just no, it's these, youngins trying to use my name.
Goddamn youngins.
I know.
What a bunch of shitheads.
Yeah. That's why if you look up Stunami on a Twitter search, you'll see me, and then there's all these other imposters,
Impasta?
Yeah. No, Tony, no.
No.
So, yeah, so that's all the social media, the networks we're part of, all the other things. Yeah, so I guess until next time, have a beer, you'll be fine.
Stay sparkly.
Damn it. You fucked me right up on that one. I don't know. I got nothing here, so, I don't know. I really have nothing. Woo!
Nice.